Everybody, happy Sunday! Happy Sunday, guys. I hope you're having a lovely Sunday. It being Sunday means it's none other than our favorite Suck Sunday! Let's go! How was that season 2 finale last week, huh? I will be honest, I didn't prepare a PowerPoint this time around, which is honestly kind of not good. I feel like for the season finale I should at least have a PowerPoint, but I didn't get to it. I didn't get to it. Wait, look at the Friday Night Funkin' logo. Let's change that out. I don't think we need that. It's our Succession finale. Chit chat. I was gonna replace the logo, but I think I'll just like hide it. I don't think we need one. I hope you guys are having a lovely Sunday so far. I went to the bus festival today, which is why I ended up not having enough time to do the presentation that I wanted to do. I thought I would have enough time to like get it together earlier today, but there was some homework that was sent out by Lucille and it was quite urgent, so I was like, okay, let me do this. And I meant to like do a short. I was sitting here for like 2 hours, and I guess I don't know, lollygagging. I was kind of getting work done, but certainly like not as effectively as I could have been spending my time. Where does the time go? You look down, you watch a couple of YouTube videos, and then before you know it, it's 30 minutes before your stream. But it's okay. It's okay because I know things to talk about still. Things to talk about still. For this last season finale. Before I forget, if you like to mark yourself present for today's stream, let me see how you're feeling about the show in the chat. Type with emojis. How are you feeling about the show so far? It could be any emoji. How's it making you feel so far? Let's see. Yeah, we just wrapped up season 2. I think season 2, quite honestly, is the strongest season, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it goes downhill from here. Wait, I think... Wait. I'm gonna keep this here. I'll put it up here. Maybe. It doesn't look that great, but I was thinking like, wait, maybe I don't have to type it in, but we'll just have that up there. Reiya, welcome! I hope you're having a lovely Sunday. For me, it's more like, oh, I was supposed to stream 30 minutes ago. I have all of my streams in my Google Calendar, and then they have a warning for me. I think 10 minutes before, and then sometimes if I like really need to prep, then I'll do like a what do you call it? Like an alarm. I'll do an alarm. That way, otherwise I'd be stuck in waiting mode. I'd just be sitting there and being like, okay, well, and I just end up scrolling because everything else feels like too, what is it, like mental effort, right? Like if I were to be like, oh, let me just edit videos and I won't set a stream alarm, then I feel like I would be scared that I'm going to like get too sucked into editing videos and then I won't get around to the stream on time. So that I end up in waiting mode, which is just scrolling or like anything that's like low effort, like things that I could like quit easily and like get out of the zone, like snap out of easily. That makes sense. Anyways, oh my god, guys, I got so many new bug bites. I got another bug bite on top of my hand. I still have the one on my finger and the one on my wrist. I got another one on my other cheekbone. Wait, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5 mosquito bites on me. And my roommate has 0. I keep telling them, I keep getting bit by mosquito bites because I'm so cute and I'm so funny. And mosquitoes, they love funny girls' blood. Right? That's true, right? Please laugh. anyways, how about we get to yapping about the show? Here, because I don't have the PowerPoint prepared, how about we peruse the subreddit? So let me go ahead and pull that up. Oh, wait, another thing. Don't forget to take our character stocks. If you're watching along with us, I would love to see how you're feeling about the character so far. Take our sucks poll, the Succession character exchange stock. I would love to see. I'd love to see this. Let's pin this to the channel. There we go. I would love to see your opinions on the character so far now that we're halfway through the series. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? We'll see how you guys are feeling about the series. Ians, you give it 2 thumbs up. Welcome, welcome. I hope you're having a lovely Sunday, by the way. 2 thumbs up. That's what I like to see. Yeah, it's my favorite show. It's my favorite show. I hope it's like making itself clear why I like it so much. I don't know. I feel like it's still so embarrassing to be like, oh man, I love this show and I've seen it multiple times already. I think this is like my 5th rewatch, at least for like the first 3 seasons. Maybe the first 2 seasons I've seen 4 or 5 times. 3rd season might be like 4. And then I think 4th season will be like 3rd time. And I can't explain why I like this show so much because it's just like the premise sounds so boring when you try to sell it to people. Anyways, I cannot join you guys because I have school today. I thought it was good passing by. Halamba, thank you so much for passing by. I hope you have a lovely day at school and that you study hard. Stay in school, kid. They love fighting girls with a huge yacht. Oh well, I mean, Okay, alright, let's see. Before I spend too much time just yip-yapping, let's go ahead and take the next 40 minutes to chat about the show. Okay, let me go ahead and pull up the subreddit. Succession, Season 2, Episode 09, Reddit. Episode 10. Okily dokily. Let's go ahead and put this up here. And then let me, how do you zoom? Is it Control Plus? Oops, wrong side. Up here. Okay, alright. I think that's good. I think we're chilling like a villain. You know, Reddit mentioned I didn't realize where it came from, like why they call it Reddit, until I was like, yeah, I read it on Reddit, and I was like, oh. I don't know if that's like on purpose, but anyways, Season 2, Episode 9, DC. This one's a very quite popular one. I would want to do the hand cam, but I'm kind of wearing something a little bit skimpy, so my house clothes gets hot outside, so but on my Tom Wamsgam's coaster, if you guys don't know, I have Succession coasters that my cult sisters gave me for Christmas. It's so embarrassing. But on my Tom coaster, it says, "You can't make a Tomlet without breaking some Gregs." That's the iconic line from the show. I think if you see like anything mentioned about the show, like this line is among most of it. Yeah, synopsis. Logan, Kendall, Jerry, and Tom testify before Congress. Shiv speaks candidly to Kara, who is the witness testimony that was going to testify against Waystar. Oh, here we go. A victim who is said to be a key witness. And in Turkey, Roman's business plan takes a chilling turn. Yes, Roman ended up being taken hostage by, was it like the Turkish government? I don't know. I did take some notes too. Let's see. I think most of these comments are gonna be about the quotes. Like this one, full disclosure, I'm having a panic attack right now. Iconic line by Carl. Roman was genuinely impressive this episode. Oh yeah, because he was able to handle... Wait. I'm I'm looking at the sidebar in case there's any spoilers, so I'm just gonna keep it up here. We was able to handle the whole like a hostage situation he pitched to the Turkish, I think they're the government, the Turkish government or something. They said what? Like the guy who had all the gun dudes come in and hold them hostage because they were doing like a little investor thing in Turkey, and then because it was like a lot of like key people there, they had dudes with guns come in, and then some guy's father was like, hey, I want my hands on this Waystar Royco deal, which does mean that it's like, you know, even more iffy of a money source than before. But yeah. Let me take a look at my notes and see if that jogs any memories. You know what? The episode's called DC. How about we talk about the hearings, the trial? We hear that Bill is going to be scapegoated. If you don't remember, Bill was the guy who had Tom's job before, you know, Tom got the job. He was the head of Parks and Cruises, right? He was the head of Parks and Cruises? Either way, he's the one that gave Tom all of the information. He put Tom into the death pit. The one who wipes his hands clean of the cruises stuff and told Tom, hey, I think you should destroy the evidence, right? But we do learn that Bill, he came over to the hearings to support the team. He's like, hey, even if I don't play for the team anymore, like I'm still going to cheer you guys on. They're all just sitting there like, wow, Bill's a nice guy. Too bad we have to kill him. Poor Bill, poor Bill. But we do see him later on that he tells Logan, like I think during wait, let's see, what did I say? He see later on that Bill, he tells Logan that he has enough information to like in his diary to like release a tell-all book. So I do think that he is, you know, dingling that like, hey, I have receipts, by the way, so you probably, you know, I want to be friendly with you guys, but if you guys do anything nasty, I'm just letting you know ahead of time. My diaries are pretty stacked, okay? Mississippi Gonzo, welcome. I hope you're having a lovely weekend. Let's see. Okay, let's see. What else do we got? Oh yeah, Shiv, not a girl's girl. She gets sent to silence the victim that was going to speak out against Mo Lester. And you could see that she was trying to do all of like those little gimmicks and stuff, right? Like how she took off her shoes at the playground to be like, look at me, like I'm not just some billionaire's daughter. I'm a humble woman, just like you. I'm one of you guys, right? I'm not part of the 1%. I'm one of you guys. And she sees that doesn't work. So then we see Shiv pivot into something like, okay, well, just so you know, like I personally, like I wouldn't do this. It's gonna be something that you're known for the rest of your life. If you come out and talk about this, anytime somebody looks you up, your name is going to be attached to this testimony, and people are just gonna know you as that girl who got Lestered by Mo. But I do... Oh, wait, let me look at, how did I word this in my notes? Let's see. Silence victim from speaking at the hearing. Shiv so performative, taking off her shoes. NRPI, person who went overboard, they didn't go after. That's all you will ever... Oh, yeah, they did mention that, like, somebody went overboard, but, like, the staff didn't check them because they thought that it was a stowaway, but it wasn't a stowaway. It was actually, like, one of the sex workers that Mo was manipulating, I think, or something like that. But, yeah. Shiv was giving her the that's all you'll ever be, that's all people are going to know you for, like that's all your name is going to be attached to, like giving her those kinds of brainworms, which was so icky of her. And I had this here, like, was she right to do that? I don't know. I feel like it might be a unanimous no, but I'm curious to see what you guys think. Was Shiv right to convince the victim not to testify against Waystar for the cruise hearings? I mean, not gonna lie though, my first rewatch, and then let's start the poll. In my first rewatch, my first watch through, I was kind of like, I mean, I don't know, she kind of had a point. But it's not the right thing to do. But I do think that it's like a perspective to consider, because I don't think that she's like necessarily wrong by the things that she's saying. And then she also said that like by putting yourself out there like that, by testifying of all the things that you're going through, you're putting yourself up as a target for public opinion. And I think considering that Waystar does own ATN, they might get like a lot of rabid ATN watchers doubting her, calling her things, or even like, you know, taking it beyond that step and like, you know, contacting her family or whatever. It's like, shit, it's not the right thing to do, but it's also like not like she's saying anything that isn't true. It's like, I think the things that she says are in the realm of possibility. And I also thought that it was interesting. Let's see, I wrote down that I think it was the kindest way to do what she did. Was it the right thing to do? No, but I think it might have been the nicest way to go about it, because she was honest that Kira, the victim, could not trust her. She's like, no, because, you know, I'm doing this for my family at the end of the day, but, you know, just keep that in mind. I'm telling you this because it protects my own interests. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how to explain what she said, but I do think that it was a probably the kindest way to do the meanest thing. Grey Wolf, welcome. I hope you're having a lovely Sunday. I am doing well. I had a nice weekend out, and I'm excited to watch Succession with you guys tonight, season 3. Yeah, I do think that's the kindest way to do what she did. And it made me think, like, did she actually care? I don't think that she cared personally for the victim, but I do think that she cared about, like, what she was doing. Like, maybe what she was doing kind of tested her morals in a way, I think. Because I mean, I don't see why else she would be like, oh, I don't think you should trust me. Like, I'm protecting my own interests, right? I think if she didn't care about what she was saying and she just wanted to straight up manipulate her, then she wouldn't have said that. But, oops. I left that down for too long. It's okay, nothing is spoilery there, but I just wanted to make sure. This is my first time watching you. Oh, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I'm really thankful for that, actually. Yeah, we're recapping one of my favorite shows. We're doing a watch along right now, and we just finished season 2. So we'll be here until the top of the next hour, and then we'll be heading into our Discord to chat about or to watch the next few episodes. So yeah, thanks for stopping by. And I gotta hurry up because I only have 30 minutes. But yeah, Shiv won that battle, but at what cost? I do think that she probably feels a little bit gross about doing that, but ultimately, like, her dad asked her to, and we also saw that, like, it was supposed to be Reiya Sumire, just kidding, Reiya Jarrell. I was supposed to talk the victim out of it, but Reiya was like, no, like, that's gross, like, I'm not even gonna do that, you're gonna do that by yourself. Shivs was like, okay, yeah, whatever, I'm gonna protect my family. I know that I have to do what I have to do. I don't care how gross it is. So yeah, I don't know. I just really want to point out that I think that she's probably conflicted. You know what? Maybe I should do that as an answer. Let's see. Was Shiv right to do... Sorry, the question doesn't even make sense. Was Shiv right to convince the victim to test... I can't even read it. But 2 of you guys said no, which I completely agree. I'm not gonna make a new poll for this, but I want to know, do you guys think that Shiv felt remorse for what she had to do? Or do you think that, or I guess not remorse, but do you think that she felt conflicted? Feel free to share your thoughts. That wasn't something that I picked up on until the second time, and I was like, well, you know, she did tell her she couldn't trust her, so, you know. Anyways, we do see Reiya walks out. I don't quite remember the scene, but that's the note that I took down. Okay. So season 2, episode 10. These are my next notes. Wait, let's see. What else do we have for DC episode? Let's scroll down before we finish this up. Roman, he kind of knocks the... Well, no, this one he's still held hostage. Shiv basically used the same technique Logan used on Kendall in the last season's finale. If you do this, that's all you'll ever be known as. The last season's finale. Oh, with the bear hug, I think. You can't make a Tomlet without breaking Greg's. Yeah, because I think they said what? Tom sent that email to Greg 67 times in one day. Just like general workplace harassment. Except for the hours, what did they say? Between 3 and 5 a.m. or something? I don't know. But during the time that Greg was supposed to be getting rid of the evidence, they mentioned Tom completely floundered his hearing. When they said, do you know Greg? He's like, no. That's his immediate reaction. And then, I think we even see Greg, he gets a little bit flustered at the stand as well. They were both mentioned specifically by name, so I guess we'll see how that shakes out in the 3rd season. Let's see, what else is there? There seems to be a theme in this episode. When Connor was telling Greg that 5 million is too much money to work and too little money to do anything, so you'd go crazy. Oh yeah, they said you'll be the world's tallest dwarf, the world's poorest rich man with $5 million. I think that really, is telling about how disconnected they are from the everyday man. Greg here, he's happy with 5 million. He's like, that's not too bad. I'm totally okay with that. Like, that's totally fine with me. But the other Roys are just like, they find it laughable that he's okay with that. So I think that really like highlights the difference between the level of wealth that they're each interested in, the level of wealth that they're accustomed to. I think she definitely feels a little conflicted. Okay, I'm glad that it's like not just me picking up on that. Let's see, it's symbolic that a medium amount of power, Tom, Bill, etc. is the most dangerous spot to be in because you're liable to get scapegoated, whereas Greg isn't important enough, so he's under the radar. You want to be either really powerful or not at all. I don't know, maybe a stretch. I do think that that's a good point that they raised. I haven't really thought too much about it. Let's see. Okay, can someone explain the hostage situation? I'm totally lost on who's holding them hostage and why. Okay, that's what I want. It's based on Saudi Arabia when MBS held all the billionaire princes. Wow, okay, so this is based on a real event. Based on Saudi Arabia when MBS held all of the billionaire princes hostage in the Riyadh Ritz-Carlton in an anti-corruption power play. People need to watch the news more. I'm kind of shocked this went over so many people's heads. I think especially in the 3rd season and 4th season, probably because it's like more recent, there will be commentary. There will be commentary. I guess I'll leave it at that. It's very interesting to see how things play out, and also really interesting to see, I mean, the show ended in 2024 of May. So it's real. Wait, 2024 or was it 2023? Could be 2023. I don't know. Either way, it's over like a year that it ended, and I think that it's really interesting to see how much of it, like, still how relevant this show is. Even like in the first 2 seasons, I'm like, oh wow, like the things that they say, you would think that it's modern, but it's actually written in like 2018, 2019, which is crazy to think about. Let's see. Yeah, anti-corruption, blah, 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 blah. And Turkey hostage situations are a normal part of daily life, and it's exhausting to try and keep up with the who's who of who's holding the gun to your head. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah. I love Connor's reaction when watching the Senate hearing. Does that make me con heads? Perhaps. We had a guy come up to Connor saying that he supports Connor's presidential run, and he said, hey, the con heads, like, we fully have your back. So Connor, he's sort of developing a bit of a cult of personality, I guess, around his presidential run. He has a fandom name, the con heads. So yeah, that's another thing to look forward to. See how that plays out in season 3 and 4. Succession ended May 28th, 2023. That is insane to think about. I remember where I was when Succession ended. That was, oh gosh, watching it live was like one of the highlights. And that night was Succession's finale and Barry's finale. Crazy night. Crazy night for my TV. Okay, alright, season 2, episode 10, the finale. This is not for tears. On the Roy's Grand Mediterranean yacht, Logan weighs whether a member of the family or a top lieutenant will need to be sacrificed to salvage the company's tarnished reputation. Roman shares his hesitations about a new source of financing as Kendall suggests a familiar alternative. Oh yeah, he suggests that they should go back to Stewie, and Stewie was basically like, fuck you, don't talk to me, we're still coming after your company. Which is honestly valid. I would be very pissed off at Kendall if I was Stewie. I would not trust him at all. Shiv proposes taking her open marriage with Tom to another level. Oh yeah, they had the manicurist or like spa lady who was working on Greg's feet, and that was like their little sneaky link for the night. But then Tom was just like, I don't know, it's probably the stress. But then he comes out and he says it. He's like, Shiv, I'm not into this. I don't like the open marriage stuff, and like I think I'm a monogamous guy. And then he reveals more later on, but we'll get to that when we get to the comments. Connor finds himself in an unenviable position as reviews of Willa's Play rolls in. Oh yeah, Connor also lost a lot of money on Willa's Play because apparently Willa's Play sucks ass. Let's see. Let me take a look at my notes before I read the comments actually. Let's see. Oh yeah, Marcia, she kind of had a subtle revenge for Logan, his, I don't know if it's like emotional infidelity or like physical infidelity. If it's physical, ew. I mean, I guess old folks gotta get some too, but it's like, I'm not trying to imagine that. Logan seems a little bit too much on death's door to be trying anything. Anyways, well, hopefully just emotional infidelity. Marcia, she kind of takes a step back at Logan because when Tom and Shiv are going to their room, they comment on like how ugly the interior of the ship is, and I think it was Shiv that mentioned that Marcia had refitted the yacht to be intentionally like goaty. Is goaty the word? Like tacky, I guess. To be intentionally tacky because that's like their version of cutting up her husband's ties. And that's like another like signal of like, damn, like these people are wealthy. Like not just to have a yacht of that size, but to be petty enough to be like, oh, you know what? Fuck my husband. I'm just going to make the yacht super ugly just as like a big fuck you to him. Excuse me? To have the money to buy a yacht and then have the money to make the yacht purposefully like super ugly just to spite somebody who cheated on you. That's kind of, it's a flex. It's a flex. We can say that. It's a flex. Let's see. But I think that's like another show that I don't know, I guess another telling of Marcia's character. We haven't really been seeing her too much at all, which I think is a complete difference to how she is portrayed like earlier in the series. Like in season 1, we're all like, oh my gosh, she's so sus and like what's going on with her. But we haven't really seen too many of the layers be peeled back on her. So that'll be another character that might be interesting to look out for in the next 2 seasons. Let's see. Roman's gut instincts on the Turkey situation. He had a pretty solid read. They mentioned that who were the hostages and like some person in power's father was interested in investing in Waystar, right? And Roman was like, yeah, it sounds good, but I think it's like total bullshit. Like I don't think that they're very serious about it and stuff. Where did I write it? I don't know. I just wrote down Roman showing his instincts. But I mean, it was pretty impressive to see him talk business and stuff, and I think that he also really impressed Logan by doing that. So I guess we'll see how that goes, especially since, should I just cut to the... Let's just cut to Kendall. Let's just cut to Kendall right now. Especially since Kendall, he ended the season by betraying his father. Kendall was appointed to be the sacrificial lamb, the one to take all of the the Bright Star crew's damage. You know, he's the one who's going to take the fallout for that. I really do think that it was going to be Tom, but Shiv begged her dad. She's like, Dad, please, for me. She gave him, she was like, Daddy, please, for me, Dad, please, don't hurt my husband, please, right? She did that little, like, youngest daughter trick on him, and Logan caved, and honestly, it probably should have been Tom. Tom does make the most sense. There was even mention when they were discussing who the sacrifice should be, and even Shiv admitted at the table, yeah, Tom makes sense. I think that, wait, where did I write notes on this one? I don't think so. I just said Shiv backstabbing Tom. No, it's logical. No. But yeah, she agrees. She's like, yeah, it should be Tom. Like, she doesn't really show that she's having Tom's back so far, and I think that moment was like another backstab for him. But we'll get to them in a second. Either way, Shiv tries to rectify for that mistake and says to her dad, like, just don't make it Tom. So Logan does his son instead. He does Kendall. Kendall was like another person that made sense. And Kendall was also somebody that he can trust because he knows that he has Kendall in the palm of his hands because of the whole car accident thing. Kendall, car accidents, let's see. Sorry, I'm reading my notes out of context. They're like out of order, so I'm trying to figure out what's next. Kendall gets sacrificed. Logan admits to Kendall. Oh yeah, before Kendall gets sacrificed, he's like, okay, so why do you, like, Dad, could it have been me? Like, do you think that... I think he, like, accepts his fate, right? But he wants to know before he is thrown to the dogs to see what happens if his dad would ever have given him the top position as CEO. So he asks his dad, like, did you believe that I could do it? Like, could it have been me? And then Logan kind of shrugs it off. He's like, yeah, I don't know, maybe, right? But then he decides to be honest, like, okay, you know, it could have, like, what did he say? Logan, I just wrote down, Logan admits Kendall could never do it because he isn't a killer. And that's like his one thing, is that I think he probably thinks Kendall has too much of a heart, or like doesn't have too much of like a spine to be able to handle the top job. But Logan specifically, he wants to find somebody who is as ruthless as him to take over the company. But he does admit, like, oh, I don't know, maybe it's like different nowadays, but I think that you need to be a killer in order to be the CEO of Waystar Royco. And then I don't remember what led to this conversation, but I wrote down OMG Logan is genuinely so whatever about the boy. NRPI, same attitude he had to Mo's girls. I think they mentioned the boy, and then Logan was just like, oh, whatever, like, it has like nothing to do about that. 15-minute reminder. Thank you. And Logan was like, he waved it off, right? In the same way that he kind of waves off like anything else. So I, like, to me that was very telling that Logan genuinely does not believe that Kendall should be punished for... No, I mean, maybe not should be punished, but he genuinely, like, the car accident does not weigh as heavily on Logan as it does for Kendall. I mean, it does make sense because, like, Kendall was there, but, like, it's generally just, like, a blip on his radar, I feel like. Like, Logan was just like, whatever, you know? No real person involved. Like, I think he really takes that seriously? Or to heart? Like, if this person isn't like within their elite circle, they're not a real person. It does not matter. It does not affect them. They can sweep it up and get away with it. That is like, it's whatever. Whereas with Kendall, like, he is so traumatized by that situation, and you know, just being like associated with it, just the fact that he was there. Like, sure, it's not necessarily his fault, but the fact that like his actions led to that consequence, we see how heavily it weighs on him. Throughout this entire season, we've seen just nothing but the deflated, anxious, like, I don't even know. I don't even have the words to describe it. Just a sad Kendall. He's just a sad boy. But I wrote that down. I wanted to mention that point specifically because that was like the last kind of conversation that they had. Logan says, no, you're not a killer, and he's like, whatever about the boy, right? NRPI, just go out there to the hearing and like do what, not the hearing, but like the press conference and do what you have to do. And then we see Kendall kiss his dad on the cheek before he goes. I was wondering if the NRPI conversation, like Logan's callousness about the waiter's death, if that was Kendall's final straw to be like, okay, you know, dad says I'm not a killer, even though he does have like literal blood on his hands. Dad says I'm not a killer, but like maybe I should try and kill dad again. Like, I think that part, he's probably thinking like our morals and our values are different, and I don't think that it's such a bad decision that I call my dad out for this and go against him, even though he's been protecting me this entire season, essentially. So, you know, Kendall, he goes up onto the helicopter and with Greg in tow, and they go to the press conference, and it's all business as usual. But then he says, I'm supposed to take the responsibility for this, but, you know, to be frank, my dad would not have let this much money go without knowing what's going on. My dad is implicated in every single thing, and there's like no way that he doesn't know about any of this. Like, if he says that, that's a lie, and I have evidence to back it up. And then we see Greg standing there in the back of the conference room with the files that he copied and saved from Tom's little bonfire. So, ooh, Team Greg and Kendall? Question mark? Greg even just turned down $250 million of inheritance from his grandfather to work for Logan. And now he's, you know, on Kendall's side. And we know that Kendall knew that Greg had these documents because literally right before the car crash in season 1, at Shiv's wedding, you know, Greg and Kendall, when Kendall was asking like, hey, do you know where I could get some drugs and stuff, Greg was also saying, hey, by the way, I was part of like the whole cruise cleanup. I think it'll be wise if you kept me in a good position going forward. I'm just saying. And then Kendall was like, I like you, you little Machiavellian fuck, right? And we get to see that play out. We finally get to see that play out. Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and turn the attention back to Tom and Shiv, because they actually had some good things going. Wait, let me just go down my notes. Let's see. Roman's gut instincts. Tom, he has a little bit of a meltdown. Him and Shiv, after Shiv tells him like, no, it makes sense for you to be like the sacrifice, and she doesn't back him up, and they go out on this little boat to go sit on the beach somewhere, and Tom's like, no, we have to pick the perfect cove, right? And they tell the guy to keep going, and they find the perfect cove, and then Tom, he finally opens up, or at least he tries to. He tells Shiv basically everything, right? He opens up about how he's unhappy in their marriage, about how he doesn't like the fact that she tried to put them into an open relationship on their wedding night, which would really put him in a hard situation. And he really just, what was the quote? He says, I wonder if the sad that I am with you would be, no. I wonder if the sad that I would be without you is worse than the sad, no. What did he say? Would I be as sad with you as I would be without you? Essentially, he's basically saying like either way, I'm sad, but maybe if I left you, I would be less sad than I am being with you, which is honestly an awful thing to be told. And then Shiv is like, okay, so what are you saying? Like, do you want a divorce? But I don't think that they have reached a conclusion on that yet. So I guess we shall see how that plays out in season 3. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the comments. That last scene was the most heartbreaking scene of the show. Kendall was the sacrifice, and all he wanted to know is if his father believed in him, which makes Logan's smirk at the end even more satisfying. That's right. At the end of the press conference, we have the final shot of the season is a shot of Logan watching, and there's just like the smallest imperceptible little hints of like an upturn at the corner of his lips. And thinking like, was that a smile? Is he proud of his son? Is his son a killer, perhaps? I guess we'll see how that plays out tonight in about 10 minutes. Let's see. Greg's line from the last season that he told Ken came back to pay off. I know things, it would be wise to keep me around. That's very true. Let's see. Tom finally grew a spine and stood up to Shiv. Oh yeah, and then after that whole thing, he ate Logan's chicken. Thank you for the chicken, Logan. And then Logan's like, what the fuck was that? Why did he eat my chicken? We see Tom's like little crash out right there. Let's see. You come at the king, you best not miss twice. But to be honest, this is actually Kendall's like 3rd time at the bat, so but it was quite a mic drop though. Let's see. The Judas kiss, that was incredible. When Logan said that Ken wasn't a killer, I began to suspect something might happen. Then Ken gave that kiss and I was like, all right, it's on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The chicken was peak entertainment. Tom Momscams is such... It's so easy to hate him, but it's also like, I hated him like the first watch and a half. And then by like the second half, I think by season 3... In season 3, he really like goes from like a character that I like really couldn't stand to somebody that I love. I mean, honestly, end of season 2 as well, when you get to see him just be like so pathetic. Not pathetic against Shiv, but you know, he's standing up to her, but he still doesn't really have like a huge spine, you know? I think like if he really did like talk his shit, he would leave her. But he cares too much about the power and the proximity. No, he cares too much about the money and the proximity to influence and power. But I also do think that he loves her too. But it's all like this concoction. But either way, I think the way that she treats him should be... It should cancel all of that out. But he cares too much about other things. Anyways. Really love that after all of Jerry's mentorship to Roman this season, he was able to come through on his own half of the partnership tonight and stood up for her when her neck was on the line. That's right, because they did consider throwing Jerry out to the wolves. And he's like, no, like we need Jerry. I think Jerry is really good. Speaking of Jerry, another note that I thought was interesting was, you know, like not everybody in this show. I mean, I think it's very clear that like a lot of the people in this show aren't very good people. I thought it was really interesting to see the old guard bickering with each other. We find out that Jerry is pretty loose with her company spending because I think Caro mentioned that Jerry buys first class tickets for her daughters traveling on the company, but like on the company dollar. We also hear that Carl is getting happy ending massages. So it's like those little tidbits behind like the characters, like I guess life and stuff. We don't really see it explicitly, but it's like those kind of throwaway lines that really flesh out the universe. We also hear Carl being mentioned as like a pervert a couple of times too. So he seems to be pretty open in his... I think he's married, and yeah, they mentioned the happy ending massages, that he's a pervert, and you know, he's not... I guess he's the kind of like less than savory. Maybe not necessarily Mo level, but you know, still a little bit less than savory, and it's like an open secret among these people. What else do we have? Give me that entire Greg testimony, you cowards. How dare you deprive us of that inevitable train wreck. That was the one where Gosh, what is it? If it is to be said, so it be. So it is. I merely wish to answer in the affirmative. Crick is so silly. Let's see. When Connor offered himself as a sacrifice because he was the mastermind behind the scenes and Logan was suppressing a laugh, like, sure, bud. Connor wanting to be helpful, but you know, even though he is the eldest son, he is not taken seriously at all. I do feel bad that we do see him like continuously sort of iced out. I mean, it's like kind of for a reason. He's definitely not as quote-unquote serious as the other siblings, but I feel like that's just surface level. I feel like he does seem like the most stable. I don't know if that's the word that I'm looking for. I don't even know if emotionally mature is. Like, none of them are people that are like, if you look at them as a whole picture, none of them should be taken seriously. But like, I think the core 3 kids, they at least have like some experience or like business acumen that makes you take them more seriously compared to Connor. Like Connor, like, oh, I know what I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be the president of the United States. Like, okay, dude. Let's see. I was blown away by Roman's astute analysis of the private equity deal with the Middle Eastern Sovereign Wealth Fund. He showed a level of maturity that has not been present before. As Laird said, the kid killed it, but for reasons unknown to Laird at the time. Exposing Laird's self-interest in plugging the deal by referring to his expected $100 million fee was brilliant. Yeah, that's true. Laird, who is was he like their financial guy or something? He was like the guy that who told Logan that they should sell the company or like, you know, maybe even buy the Piercers. He was the guy that's giving Logan like the advice before. But yeah, he was motivated by his self-interest by wanting the deal to go through, but Roman had the balls to be like, no, dad, like, it's bullshit. And yeah, showed a very sharp mind and instinct. Yeah, I mean, I think that's most of the comments. Jeremy Strong is fucking incredible. I felt his reactions during that scene with Logan in my throat. Dude, I love watching like just Kendall do anything, because there's just such subtlety in Jeremy Strong's performance with the character. Like specifically thinking about how you could see like his boyhood trauma just through his eyes alone anytime his dad is like raising his voice at him, or even like when Logan slaps Roman and like he's coming to Roman's defense. Oh, I don't know, it's just brilliant. It's just, and I don't even think that when Roman got hit, Kendall was supposed to like be like, no, don't hit him. I don't even think that was in the script, but I have to double check. But mwah, chef's kiss. Love Kendall's number one boy. I love seeing him on screen. And yeah, we're going to see a lot more of him during our watch along in 1 minute. But let me see if there's any ties to tonight's episode. Let's see. Fallout from the press conference. Yeah, we're gonna see how Kendall's attempt at backstabbing his dad for the 3rd time is gonna play out. Do you think he will succeed? Kendall doesn't really have a solid track record, but this time he does have evidence to back himself up. I don't know. I guess we will see what will happen. Ooh. How will Kendall calling out his dad for being implicated in all of these, I guess, sex crimes and homicides under his eye of the company? How will that play out? We'll find out. Nay, hello. I hope you're having a lovely Sunday. Thanks for stopping by. Let's see, what else do we have? I think that's it. Let's see, Kendall's temporary clarity, and then I guess we're gonna see like how the fallout is gonna be again too, because I think during this season we did see, for the most part, like, sure, all of the kids were sort of pitted against each other to earn their dad's like love, or I guess earn the top seats as CEO, but we did get to see them work together, which was unlike the first season where Kendall was at odds against like his entire family. And I guess we're gonna see that play out a little bit more in season 3, considering Kendall once again backstabbed Logan and is trying to quote unquote kill Logan. Cool. Oh yeah, before we go, let's go ahead and check the stock exchange. Let's check the stock exchange. Let me hide this for a second so that way I can pull up the stocks. Okay. I'll just pull it up like this. So who are we investing in and who are we selling this week? Let's see. Really? Oh, okay. So I guess it's right here. We have an investment in Kendall Roy, which I think a very solid choice. Kendall, we do see him going for Logan's jugular this episode. So let's see if trying to kill his dad works out for him for the 3rd time. We're selling Connor Roy, which I think is a valid choice. Connor, he's losing money on Willow's play. Nobody in the family takes him seriously. And he's trying to run for president? I don't know. Dude seems a little delusional. And who are we skipping? Do we have any skips? We're skipping Tom Wamscams. I think Tom is a fine option to skip. We see him barely hanging on by a thread this episode. He is very possibly on the chopping block, but thankfully Shiv batted her youngest daughter eyelashes to her daddy, and daddy said, okay, I will spare your husband and I will kill my son instead. What's next? Okay, who are you guys picking to be Logan Roy's successor? Ooh, we have Kendall Roy, my #1 boy, as the lead to be Logan Roy's successor, which is honestly, yeah. Will Logan choose Kendall? No, but should the audience choose Kendall? I think he's quite the obvious favorite choice. Any favorite moments this week? Is Kendall serving at the end. I totally agree. That press conference, when I first saw that, stomach dropped. And then imagine the first time that I watched this, right? Like I was binging this like over the course of like less than a week. It had to be like 3 or 4 days. And it was like a couple months after season 2 finished. I didn't even know how many episodes there were. So I just thought like I could keep going. I got to that episode and I was like, where's the next one? Where's the next one? And I go and I look and I find out that it came out like maybe like 2-3 months before, or maybe like 8 months or something. I don't know. Either way, like a new season was not coming soon. I thought, okay, maybe I'll have to wait a year. Joke's on me. COVID happened. So I think we had to wait, I think 2021 was when season 3 came out, and then season 4 had to come out in like 2022, so or something like that. I don't know. Either way, it was a fuck ass wait. You're lucky you only had to wait 1 week. I had to wait indefinitely. Okay, any thoughts about the show? How do I take a look? Response 1. Okay, no, there's nothing there. Okay, yeah. Alright, thank you so much for filling out our sucks this week. Without further ado, I mean, I'm not gonna make you guys wait more than 2 years. Wait. Actually, I wanna see, Succession Season 3, Episode 1. When did that come out? Fucking AI mode. Why would they put that first? It came out in October 2021. Season 2, Episode 10 came out October 2019. I think I watched the show. I think I had to watch it in like June or July. Okay, so maybe I only had to wait about a year. It came out in 2021. I think I watched it, at least in my diary, I mentioned it in like the summer, and I was like, wow, I just finished the show, but I'm just starting my new rewatch, and it was like a week after I finished it. And I think there was like just like so much going on, and I didn't understand it, but I couldn't stop thinking about the show. Anyways, I'm gonna stop yapping. We are gonna go ahead and go straight into the Discord. Be sure to join us in the Discord for the watch along. We're gonna be watching season 3, episodes 1 and 2, the immediate aftermath of the press conference. Let me go ahead and read it to you guys. Following his bombshell press conference, a righteous Kendall scrambles to find a base of operations while Logan's team searches for a safe harbor. So that's episode 1. And then episode 2, Mass in Time of War. Kendall tries to get his siblings as well as Stewie and Sandy on his side. Meanwhile, Greg, fearing his legal situation, seeks help from Ewan, his grandpa. So, yeah, the new sides are being chosen. Whose side are you on? Whose side will come up on top? Another civil war is about to break out within the walls of Waystar Royco. I hope that you guys enjoyed this little chat and recap. I didn't have a presentation prepared this time, but I hope I handled it well and it wasn't too confusing to follow without the visual cues. Yeah, if you've been sitting down for as long as I have, make sure you give your body a nice big stretch. Don't forget to stay hydrated. And last but not least, treat yourself to something special. Maybe some snacks and a sweet drink to enjoy while we watch the next 2 episodes of my favorite show of all time. And thank you to my favorite people of all time for indulging me on this little journey. I can't believe we're already halfway through the series. Man, I know I say season 2 is the best, and I'm not gonna say like season 3 and season 4 are weak at all, but I mean, you guys are in for a ride. I don't think it's like all heavy hitters like season 2 was, but it's the series as a whole is honestly, in my opinion, a masterpiece, and I really want to thank you guys again for joining me every single week to experience the show with me, and I can't wait to the day that we finally finish it and you guys can understand in totality why I find the show to be so peak. Yeah, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you on the Discord. Until next time. I don't know why I pressed that button. Okay, until next time. Bye. Bye.